touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Oh, I ain't getting no sleep. Till I touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me.
I'm hiding all you, so lonely. I'm hiding all you, so lonely.
Touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Oh, I ain't getting no sleep. Till I touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Oh, I ain't getting no sleep. Till I touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Oh, I ain't getting no sleep. Till I touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Oh, I ain't getting no sleep. Till I touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Oh, I ain't getting no sleep. Till I touch that peak. Oh, I've been grinding all week. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Free speech. Your Vice President Vance said that free speech is under attack in the UK. Do you agree with him? And Prime Minister, we saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else. And he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, on the question of Charlie Kirk, can I just express how shocking that is, I think, to everybody who believes in free speech and in democracy. It sent shockwaves through the world. And I know that he was a friend of the president, and I reached out straight away to the president because I understood how impactful it would be on him and his family. And we all need to be absolutely clear about that. Whatever our political views, it is shocking and is to be condemned.
What's going on, people? Welcome to ROMA Nation and welcome to Raid from Timcast. How are you guys doing tonight? Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe. I'm AK, your favorite guy, and tonight Congress is on the hot seat with Kash Patel visiting the Capitol building and Jimmy Kimmel on a permanent paid vacation. But why? So let's find out tonight as ROMA Nation starts now. All right, what's up? What's up? We got Scrapjaw back in the house tonight. What's going on? Uh-oh. Is it your mic? Nope. Still can't hear you.
Oh, it was StreamYard. StreamYard changed stuff on me, and it still kept me muted from when the opening came on.
That's
What's
hilarious.
up, people? I bet y'all are wondering why we have the Temu version of Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves on tonight, but here we are, cash in receipts.
Cash and receipts. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. It's been we just got off of a real crazy week, but this week is just as crazy, I guess. I mean, you've got the Kash Patel doing the 2 days at Congress, and boy, did things get spicy. And then, of course, with Jimmy Kimmel and a lot of rumors going on with that. I mean, who knows what's next? But anyways, don't forget to riseofmiddleamerica.com and check out our lineup of podcasts from history to news, pop culture, true crime. We've got a show for all your needs. We also got a Discord where all the magic happens for ROMA Nation. You want to be a podcast host, producer, researcher, writer for us. It's the only place where you can be a part of the fastest growing podcast community on the net. At the top of the page are all of our links and socials. At the bottom is our merch site. I know we got a couple. Let's see if my merch site will work this time. And there it is. We got the drive-in shirt. We got Facts and Sass. Oh, this one still going hot. Weaponize Your Autism. This one's selling like hotcakes, folks. So make sure that you don't miss out. So please like, comment, subscribe.
Oh, we lost your microphone this time now.
Really?
Or is it me?
No, I'm still
I
here.
don't know. Yeah, we're all about the B-list celebs here tonight.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So, you guys in the audience, if you can hear us, just give me ones in the chat. Let's go from there. All right. Yeah. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. Don't miss a moment of the action.
I don't know if we lost AK or
No.
if I'm lost. I can't hear anything.
I can hear you.
Okay. It's me then. I don't know. StreamYard's being dumb.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, after that, let's rant. All right. So tonight, we're going to be breaking down the Kash Patel hearings, and more importantly, the 5 biggest question lawmakers grilled on him and what his answers really mean for America. Whether you think it's Patel as a patriot or whether pushing MAGA talking points, the fact is that their hearings are exposing something ugly. The American people are no longer trusting their institutions. That's a bigger problem than any one man's testimony, right? And that's why ROMA Nation exists. We cut through the noise and give you the real questions. Don't trust the spin, but look at what's being asked and not what's being answered. Okay. So for context, Kash Patel, which is a former Trump era national security aide, he appeared before Congress regarding the FBI DOJ handling of Trump investigations and potential misuse of intelligence. And then lawmakers pressed on him the weaponization of government, FISA abuses, election interference, and media leaks. His testimony ties directly into a broader debate about the so-called deep state and accountabilities. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He gave us a heck of a lot of extra context just by them asking the same question over and over again. I mean, how many times can you rephrase the same answer? It's this whole... I watched a good portion of of these hearings this last week, but the majority of it was you just listen to the question, listen to him answer it once, and then you can kind of tune out, go back to filing your paperwork at work and doing whatever. And then when the new question comes up, tune back in, because it's like 5, 10, 15 minutes of however long of them asking the same stuff over and over. But Kash is very good at answering those questions. And sometimes when he rephrases them, it actually gives you a better insight into how frustrated he is with the pile of trash that he's been handed. There's no new investigations, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what better way to do that by going over some of the hot takes from the senators, especially the senators.
Dude, they were spicy.
They were very spicy. So we got a couple of those coming up for you right here. Let's start off with our favorite Democrat, Cory Booker, shall we? Let's see.
I'm not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tear
my
this country
time
apart.
to address
There should be a
your
unifying-
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can try
embarrassment
all
to the
you
division
want
in this
to
country.
not take
It is my
responsibility
time.
for what
You
you
had
have
your
said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your
making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
country. I don't think you're fit to be in the Bureau. But here's the thing, Mr. Patel. I think you're not going to be around long. I think this might be your last oversight hearing. Because as much as you supplicate yourself to the will of Donald Trump and not the Constitution of the United States of America, Donald Trump has shown us in his first term and in this term, he is not loyal to people like you. He will cut you loose. This may be the last time I have a hearing with you because I don't think you're long for your job.
End scene. So, I mean, what do you, first off, Cory Booker thinks he's slick, right? Because he's the one congressional member that constantly tries to get people to break the law over and over and over again. So he shouldn't be talking about morality in points of emphasis right now.
Well, it's a game, right? Like I was saying earlier, it's a game. These guys and gals that are on these committees, they know the process. They know the law. These are not, freshmen, sophomore, elected officials. You can't, well, as we'll come to find out, as Kash claps back, there are detailed, there's a structure, right? Even though the FBI is the one out there collecting all the information and doing the warrants, the searches, and the investigations, which all happened before Kash, he talks about some of the 07, 06, 08, like that era. When the courts say you can't release stuff, you can't release stuff. And so these guys are they're just trying to wear him out. That's what it is. It's like a struggle session. They're just trying to browbeat him and be loud and show their voter base that, oh, we're doing something. We're keeping them accountable. It's like, bro, you're just being loud and saying nothing, as James Brown said.
And it's like, excuse me, it's almost like, when you're trying to talk with people on the street and try to have like a reasonable debate, and it's the same thing. They try to out-talk you, outspeed you. Like there's no consistency. It's just a bunch of just loud nonsense, so to speak.
Dog and pony show. Next clip.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to Jamie Raskin.
Something crystal clear. I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic other people, other women, and they're not other victims. This is the investigation we were given from 2006, 7, and 8, and the search warrants from 2006, 7, and 8. That's what we're working with.
Wait, have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house? The computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents? What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to
Which
release.
court are you talking about?
3 separate federal courts have come in and said.
We're talking about the evidence you've got. It's got nothing to do with what those courts have.
Do you have any
We're talking
idea
about
how
evidence.
the law works?
It has everything to do with the courts.
A federal judge's order?
No, I want you to
satisfy
follow your own
curiosity?
word, Director Patel. You said up there it was under the direct control of the FBI director. He had the black book.
Everything I have direct control over, we have gone to court. You haven't.
Complete
You
your
went
sentence.
to court.
Everything you have direct control over, you said.
Have gone to court, and everything we have direct
Director
control
Patel,
over.
complete your
and
sentence.
can
You said
Thank you.
lawfully
Thank you for
release, we're
Gentlemen,
releasing.
Much more has come out in the days since the American people in Congress have been demanding it, but it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do?
I literally just told you there are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy your curiosity. You didn't join us when we filed court to release the court orders. You could have. You have lawyers. You could have shown up.
Random,
You didn't do that.
Let's talk about the.
You are correct. And Kash will definitely call him on that multiple times throughout these clips. Like he said, these are 6, 7, and 8, 06, 07, 08, not during 16, 17, 18. these are early stuff. This is stuff still under Obama era. That's how
That's what
old
exactly
this stuff is.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And-
saying. There's multiple administrations, both Democrat and Republican, that had all the opportunity to do this, and they didn't.
Thanks for the
Right.
subs, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Yeah, they had all the time in the world to do this, but now all of a sudden, it's supposed to land on their lap. I mean,
Right. Thing is, there's separation of powers. And as Kash was saying, as he was being spoken over so rudely, is they went to court. They went to the courts and to say, we want to release more of this stuff. And many times, not only does the FBI, okay, so there's 3 branches of government, if we don't include the bureaucratic, corporatocracy state, right? We just go with the 3 in the Constitution, separation of powers. Not only can the DOJ go to the courts and say, hey, we want to unseal documents and blah, 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 but so can Congress and the Senate. They can subpoena whatever they want, but the judiciary is a separate body. It is equal powers and separate, equal but separate. They can pressure one another, but it would take a whole heck of a lot of, squeezing and weirdness to get what Raskin is trying to get to put out. And honestly, we'll get more into, Kash's frustrations and whatnot. I don't think there's anything there. It's been this long, but
yeah, I honestly think that there's whatever evidence that there was is probably long gone since then.
How long ago was it when they cleared out Epstein's island, the FBI? And Luke Radowski went out there and snuck onto that island to see some stuff. It's gone. There's nothing there. It's clean.
Yeah. And
that's long before the Trump era.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I feel like all of this I think it's all gone. And when you think about cases like that, I mean, you've got all this stuff way back when from JFK, from MLK. Remember, we did a couple episodes on that in our Uncensored series. They have all of that information, but all of a sudden now you don't have anything on something that happened 20 years ago. Like, are you kidding me? So I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think that it's one of 2 things. Either one, everything is under these sealed documents, and I mean everything, or it's all gone. There's no in between.
If there was anything left, they probably would have went out and done some more investigations on it by now. But let's get into some of these more clips, because I think Kash actually gets into that himself.
Exactly. This is Mazie Hirono. You guys know her, the lovely representative from Hawaii. Let's take a look.
Is also the lead federal agency for investigating cyber attacks and cyber intrusions, both by foreign nation states and by non-state hacker groups. Since President Trump's inauguration, the executive assistant director in charge of the criminal and cyber branch and the head of the FBI's cyber division have both left the FBI. What are the names of the people who replace them in those positions?
The cyber branch is one of the most impressive at the FBI. 409 arrests this year, 169 convictions. That's a 42% increase from the same time last year. So any suggestion that the FBI cyber division is not operating at full capacity and better than ever before, the leadership at the branch is implementing these changes necessary to attack the cyber and ransomware infrastructure operators.
You know
for
why
Iran, China,
they're
and Russia.
important? I want to know who has those positions, since the people who originally were there
Supremely
are no longer
qualified
there.
individuals have those positions.
Are they?
Supremely qualified individuals.
Who are they? What are the names?
You're not getting
You don't
them.
know. Special agents.
You're not getting them.
You're not
You ain't
getting them.
And it becomes another repeated theme where they keep asking, well, who are these people? You're firing these people. You're moving those people, and you're doing who are you putting in there? Because they know that their base is mobilized to go after people.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this through the whole era of cancel culture, of which we are post now. Hey, what's up? We got
Thank
our
you for
producer on
memberships.
here. Memberships. What?
Hey.
look at this.
And a
Funk
super
Master
chat.
General.
Funk Master General.
How you doing,
Thank
my
you.
friend? Thank you very much. We got 5 more ROMA Nation memberships going out to some of you lucky fans. Hello.
He's a good buddy of ours. He hangs out in the Discord.
Kryptonian, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Them super chats in.
Yeah.
Just say, supremely qualified individuals that are capable of hiding the evidence that can land their friends in jail, but more than capable of finding evidence against their opponents. I mean, that's a fair assessment. Yeah. But, Cash's thing is, I don't want your lynch mobs to go out after my people, because especially in cybersecurity, anything that's tech related, you don't want to have a high profile. You don't want to be out there and be well known. You're trying to get work done. And if you can be attacked, if you can be named, you can be attacked, and so he's trying to protect his people, which is great. And it's a public entity, so it shouldn't be hard for somebody to go issue some FOIA requests and do some journalism
right,
and find out. If you want to know, you can go find out, but he's not going to sit there in front of God and everybody and say, oh, here's who all the names are, go ahead. He's not just going to hand it to you on a silver platter. Work for it.
Absolutely. And speaking of trustworthy journalists, we have Shifty Adam Schiff. Let's go.
Holy Schiff.
Holy shit.
And that is right after she gives this testimony in front of an FBI agent, among others, she's transferred to a minimum security prison not suitable for a sex offender like herself. Who made that decision and why?
The Bureau of Prisons.
The Bureau of Decisions made it in
prisons.
The Bureau of Prisons decided on their own, without any consultation with Blanche or anyone else, that they were going to suddenly, after this interview, completely unrelated to this interview, completely unrelated to anything she said, move her to a prison not suitable for a sex offender. You want the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No, I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of
you're
inmates.
not in the weeds?
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform.
Point of order.
But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want.
It's true. Schiff. If we know anything about Schiff, we call him Shifty for a reason.
Shifty Schiff.
Shifty Schiff. We call him that for a reason. The Russiagate stuff, all the other things that are out there that we know about him. Yes, we all would love to have the Epstein client, the full gamut of whatever happened on that island and the plane and wherever else. We would all love to have that. But how many decades has it been of him able to do his thing? And then you had 2 administrations. One had 2 terms. The other one completely hijacked Trump's first administration for being able to do jack squat about much. And then came back in and just basically ran roughshod and cleaned everything up. You think Biden did anything during those 4 years that wasn't just him stalling for whatever the deep state was trying to figure out and scramble for? That's it. It literally was in the entire administration. There were 8 years of stalling. And you expect Kash Patel to have everything.
Yeah, and not only that, but in Trump's first administration, there were still a lot of deep state pieces in place, right? You can't just walk in day one and just be like, everybody's fired. Like, legally, you can't do that, right? So you have to come in, you have to figure out where all the problems are. They were very good at hiding those problems. And then and then what? Like, then was he supposed to come in like a wrecking ball? He can't do that, right? He has to find out where those problems are and then take the necessary actions that he needs to legally in order to get rid of them. This is the same thing that's happening with Kash, right? Kash has a legal, he has a judicial duty to do everything. I wouldn't say judicial. What would you say? Either way, he had
executive duty.
Yeah, he has an executive duty, to follow the letter of the law. But these congressional members, the people in the Senate, they basically can get away with it.
Right.
They can get away with it because they're immune.
How deep is the deep state? That's the big question, and it's deeper than than Trump thought, deeper than we thought, deeper than we still understand. That's the thing, and like I was saying, we don't really care about the files either. We want justice to come, and the thing is, let me use a different subject to kind of illustrate my view on the Epstein stuff. BlackRock is being blamed for every single woe on the planet when it comes to economics and your real estate and buying everything up. But guess what? The real problems are at your state level and your local level, because most of the cronyism and the corruption is happening in good old boy fashion. It's at county levels. Go back to this day last year. I published an interview with a man from Springfield, Arizona. I'm going to Arizona here soon. Ohio, Springfield, Ohio. Tow truck driver. Okay, if you guys don't remember about Springfield and needing the kits and needing the dogs, they weren't. Then maybe they were, but mostly that wasn't the big deal. Still, the big deal to this day is traffic, because Haitians can't drive. And I'm not saying that in the Asian kind of way. I'm saying that in these people literally don't know how to drive. Okay, they don't know how to drive.
At least here in the U.S.
Because they're rubber stamping. Okay, so let me get back to the Epstein stuff, right? Everybody wants to blame Epstein and put a light on that and talk about him and Maxwell's and their family connections and the Mossad and all that stuff. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And if it is, I want somebody to answer for it. But the truth of the matter is, just like the corruption that's happening in real estate and immigration and all of that stuff, pedophilia and crimes against children are happening every day in your backyard. And if you're not, that's right, that's what's up. I'll be back there in the spring to check things out in Springfield after the TPS, the temporary protected status, gets revoked, if it does. But anyway, there's trafficking and predators in your backyard every single day doing things. And there are multiple people out there that are trying to bust them and turn them over to law enforcement. Pedo poachers. Go on YouTube, find them, Rumble, wherever. This is such a pervasive issue that, yes, it's a problem if there's something happening at a state actor level to our politicians, and I want that corruption rooted out as much as anybody, but you guys need to be paying attention in your backyards too. That's where all this is, and that's what Kash is talking about. Going into these cities and DC and Chicago and unleashing his people to go after human trafficking and all of that at those levels. Because where do you think Epstein is getting the girls other than from, Ghislaine, where she's picking them through whatever Wexner's little his thing is with. So Wexner, if nobody knows, He's the guy that owns Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie Fitch, Hollister, all of that. That's another Ohio thing, by the way.
There's documentaries on that too.
All that stuff. Okay?
Oh yeah.
That's where Ghislaine was getting a lot of her talent scouting through, hey, you want to be a model? Well, guess what clout she had? Victoria's Secret, through Wexner and that kind of stuff. Okay, so that kind of stuff is happening all the time, but it's not always happening at like these glorified, Epstein levels. It's in your backyards, it's in Boy Scouts, it's in your schools, it's in all these little specialty clubs where you drop your kids off. Like, just pay attention, be a parent, because it is a parent.
I'm about to send you off on another rant before we get to this next clip, but
get me started.
Do you think the same way they ran this operation is similar to the way that the CIA ran the operation on the war on drugs?
Oh yeah, definitely the way the war on drugs went. I mean,
where they feel like where they need it in order to do other things.
There's money in it.
Right. So that's why
we need money to do ops.
Yeah,
here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let me see if this is where you're going. War on drugs. You go back to the Bush era, Reagan era, back the Bush senior era with the CIA and all of the clandestine missions they were doing in South America. The only way Bush was able to fund his little black box projects for the CIA that the federal government didn't want to greenlight. They didn't really want to say no. They just said, nah, we don't have the money for that. And so he was like, I'm going to go find money. That's how the war on drugs started. Okay.
No,
so
yeah.
how much money, how many billions of dollars is in human trafficking, and how much you want to bet there's people on the take that are, FBI, CIA, let's not forget MK Ultra and the brothels where they were drugging Johns.
Exactly.
Okay. Like, this is not new stuff. They've just refined their methods. Okay. Let's just go with that. Pay attention to your local stuff, and let's have another clip.
There you go.
Yes or no to whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped, victims of the Jeffrey Epstein
so
horrific trafficking ring. Are they credible?
Any person with information about ongoing sexual trafficking.
I'm asking you if they're credible.
Ma'am, I'm commenting on the evidence we have. And we have routinely asked for people to come forward with more evidence, and we will look at it.
These are women who came to the Hill and testified that they were groomed and raped at the age of 14 and 16 years old, and they called to meet with the president and to meet with the FBI and to have people investigate their claims. Some of them have never testified before. If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
My job as the FBI director is to
Is
invite
the
all
answer yes or
investigative
no
leads.
to whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped?
Any insinuation by you or any
What
people
is
on
the
your
end?
side that I am not manhunting child predators and sex traffickers, just look at the
Mr.
stats.
Patel,
And you talk
Mr.
about
Chairman,
cover-ups, man.
Mr. Chairman,
you
this
talk
is
about
my time,
cover-ups.
and I will take
Why
as much time as I
Where were
want.
you during the
Instruct the
Obama and
witness,
Biden
Mr.
administrations
Chairman.
when these so-called
Instruct the
cover-ups were
witness.
going on?
Mr.
Why didn't
Chairman.
anyone in those administrations talk to any of these
Mr.
purported
Chairman.
witnesses?
Let's
I
get
have
some regular order, Mr.
every
Chairman.
single person to provide credible information.
Bro, this was crazy because she went on for 4 more minutes. Like, the next person was supposed to jump in and talk, and she just talked over them. Was like, no,
All
I'm
you
just
hear
gonna
is
keep on
gavel.
going.
All you hear
And
is
she just kept
gavel.
on going, and I was
Whole
like,
time.
what are you doing? Okay, I'm going to be careful with this one because this is
Well,
a
let me
landfill full of landmines. All right,
Let me be real with that one though, because we could easily skip over and just be like, oh, make fun of her being all emotional and stupid. But objectively speaking, when she brings up these alleged victims, why doesn't she have details? Right? It's like, how do you think of this from a corporate structure level? If anybody's in any kind of management or whatnot, how do you think stuff gets to Cash's level? There's other people beneath him. He can't be everywhere at once. He doesn't know all things. He knows the high level of what is happening overall, not necessarily any one little detail unless he's absolutely hands-on involved with it. And there's no way he's going to know the number of these alleged 15, 14, 16-year-old who, alleged victims
from 20 years ago.
From 20 years ago that are now
Right.
they're our age. Okay? Well, I'm about to hit in my 40s here in a couple years. It's like that's how old this stuff is that they're grilling him over.
Right. And that's why when I talk about, multiple administrations, some of these people have been here for all of those administrations. Where was this then? Where were the subpoenas to bring in the FBI directors to talk about this stuff? Like, now all of a sudden, again, like I said before, you're throwing it all on him, and now he's the one that's going to save the day? Okay, this is what I want to know. If he comes in and he brings all this information out, and people go to jail, and he saves the day, are you going to stand there on your pedestal and say, you know what, Kash Patel is the greatest FBI director in the history of the United States? Is that what you're going to do? I'm waiting.
We'll find out. Won't we? We'll find out, maybe. Hold up, we got a comment. What's this guy say? Dude on the left definitely plays jazz fusion or metal of some kind. I've definitely dabbled in the arts of both, for sure. I'm not a shredder, though. But yeah.
Hey, real quick, while we got a break, someone wanted to know about your guitar on the left. I think he's talking about the white one.
That's a Reverend brand, but this is a limited edition, and I've customized it. They're a company out of Toledo, Ohio. They originate from Detroit, but they moved to Toledo. Reverend guitars. Go get one.
Everybody left Detroit.
Oh yeah, good reason.
Good reason. All right, so let's kind of switch it up here a little bit. How about Josh Hawley? Let's see what he had to say.
That the FBI is investigating a broader network of groups that may have had some knowledge of the shooter's plans. Can you give us any details on that, following up what you already said in public? How's the FBI working to find other potential accomplices, folks who may have known about the shooter's plans, folks who may have encouraged him? Any update on any of that?
So in terms of what we do for an interrogation perspective, we go and reach out to the family and community immediately. And we've conducted those investigations and interrogations with local law enforcement. And we're continuing to do that because those closest to the suspect are going to hopefully know the most about the suspect and his beliefs and his ideology. On top of that, unfortunately, it has been leaked that there was a Discord chat. And for those unfamiliar with it, it's a gaming chat room online that the suspect participated in. So what we're doing, we've already done, is serve legal process, not just on Discord, so that the information we gathered is sustained and held in a evidentiary posture that we could use in prosecution should it be decided to do so. And we're also going to be investigating anyone and everyone involved in that Discord chat.
I see the public reports that the Discord thread had as many as 20 additional users. It sounds like you're trying to run down all of that to see if that's accurate, who else may have been on that thread, what they may have known. Is that fair to say?
It's a lot more than that, and we're running them all down.
It's a lot more than 20?
Yes, sir.
And you're running all of that?
My goodness. I mean, this is going to be Discord.
News.
Discord is going to get hit hard, probably.
The tech industry is in turmoil right now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a point where Kash is asked, how is it? He's asked a question, and it was about Discord cooperating. Have they been cooperative was basically the question. And he the way he phrased it was basically, they're cooperating with us within all of the legal means necessary, which means they said, get a warrant. They told the FBI, we're not giving you anything unless you give us paperwork. They're stalling at every legal avenue, and I can tell you exactly why. Is because the tech industry is full of wokies, full of them. The company I work for, we are very particular about who we hire, and we have a very narrow selection, and already. And then when you go out into the tech world, if you're just trying to be a general conservative, it's like, okay, your options are wider, but when you get into open source and you get into these alternate online communities, the more woke it gets. And a lot of your tech infrastructure is built on Linux and open source stuff, and it's very heavily saturated with woke people. And the tech industry is going to be the biggest enemy. I mean, come on, cancel culture through the the late 2010s, right? All the way through COVID. Why do you when Facebook and Twitter before it was X and the different platforms and YouTube is still built on tons of open source infrastructure, a lot of proprietary. I mean, your Google phones, they're all Linux, they're all open source. Who do you think's building all of your tech?
Right. And not only that, but I can tell you right now, they probably already have this information. The FBI already has it, because the way that you get around the warrants is you go and you just ask the people that were there, hey, you mind if I check this out? Because if you let me check this out, maybe we'll give you a deal on the side.
Some of
But
that.
if we get this warrant and you don't cooperate with us, we're not just going to throw the book at you. We're going to make you famous for all the wrong reasons.
They're probably doing it from every single angle possible. I mean, the first thing they had was Robinson's boyfriend, his tranny boyfriend. Okay, so let's see what this comment says. I'm a Linux user. A lot of Linux users are right wing. Yes, we are. Organizations are hostile against right wing, and not even just Republican voters. Yeah, they're very hostile. And I know a lot of you guys that are in that space. I've been around that space for a while, and it's very small. It's a very small realm of people that run stuff, and it's not hard to go up the chain and bump into people in the open source community. And it's very hard to, speak your mind when you're not lefty, even on the most basic stuff. Like, it's very closed off.
I'm Linux curious.
Linux curious. Yes. If I ever had a fursuit made, it would be a penguin. Let's put it that way. It is the bomb. I mean, we could turn this thing into a Linux podcast and watch our viewership completely tank in about 5 minutes if I wanted to, but I don't want to. But that's the bare bones of it. Is there's a major upheaval right now in Linux. Go look up Brian Lunduke. Brian Lunduke is always posting on this stuff. I mean, he's been posting things on IBM, Red Hat, Google, you name it. He's got all kinds of dirt and details from people who are, sending him stuff from inside these big tech companies. Yeah, Kash is right. But back to my point I was trying to make was the FBI is not just going after Discord and saying, give us the logs. They've got people that are inside these chat rooms. It's not hard for their cyber division to get in and just look like anybody else. I'm sure a lot of these Discords are pausing and freezing the ability for new users to jump in right now. If you go on Blue Sky, there's a lot of talk about that. They know how to shut things down. The tech realm is not stupid. They know how to hide. They know how to obfuscate who they are and their identities, but they're also very proud of what they're doing and what they say. So it's not hard to figure out who they are sometimes. Just like Tyler. I mean, the guy that shot Charlie, he went and squealed and talked about it, and not just his mug being on those security cameras and his dad finding out. I mean, these people are they believe in what they're doing. So they're at every step, they're going to try to trip up the FBI within whatever legal means, but Kash is on them. There's records of everything. There's laws.
Bring that one back up.
Yeah, what was that? chat logs for Robinson are very odd, almost like evidence for the sake of alibi odd. It is kind of odd. Some of it looks kind of like, they just kind of transcribed it in or transposed it or something weird. I don't really buy all of that because some people were trying to say, I think Tim said it the other night, was, that chat between him and his boyfriend looked like, they transcribed it from, like, it should be in, like, or either A, they transcribed it from Gen Z lingo or something, or it was like AI'd in. But I was like, do you not think that people can just speak regular English? It's a serious subject. I think you leave your jargon out the window to some degree when you start to talk about something that's kind of not the normal thing that you would be joking about, right?
Right. And not only that, but especially if you are the person that, like, your mindset changes, and then you start thinking about other things like, I know I just did this, but now I'm probably going to get caught, or it's just there's so many. I mean, I've never done that, obviously. Well, not that I know of, but it's, you don't know what goes through a person's mind when something like when they commit a horrific act like that. Some people don't care.
Yeah.
Some people, it's like a regular Tuesday. I mean, you look at the crime in some of these major cities. Some of these people have done it multiple times and are still walking the streets like nothing ever happened. But
right, Antifa to-do list: punch a Nazi, get a latte.
get a latte, a punch card, get a 10th one free. Yeah.
Fight the man. Starbucks.
That's hilarious. All right, we got one last one before we move on to our next segment. This is Eric Swalwell. Let's see what this guy had to say.
To tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the
It's a simple
attorney's
question.
file.
Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is
painstakingly
simple.
Who
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out? if
Yes
you're gonna
or
mock
no?
me? Use
Director?
the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No, A, B, C.
Director,
D, E, F.
it
Don't wanna
sounds
do
like
it?
you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your
Director,
constituency
did
by
you tell the
focusing on
Attorney
reducing
General
violent
that Donald
crime in this
Trump's name-
country and the number of pedophiles that are
Director,
legally
reclaiming
harbored
my time,
in your
Director.
sanctuary cities in
Director,
California?
reclaiming
I'll
my
work with
time.
you on that. Do
Regular
you wanna
order, Mr.
work with us
Chairman.
on that?
Director,
I'm
reclaiming
the
my
lawless
time.
gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
Question has been asked and asked.
He actually technically answered it. He said I already went over it with Pam Bondi. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to
Everywhere
your
his name was
fancy?
mentioned. He said it's like everywhere his name was mentioned. So he didn't want to say yes because that would give him the soundbite. See, Kash is smart. He's not giving them the easy out, the easy win, the sound clip to go, look.
He said yes.
He said yes. Trump's name is in there, and he's a bad guy. So we need to impeach him.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, that was Roma's rants. Okay. Bro, is that Adam Schiff?
You know what? No, it's not. But it should be.
It should be.
It should. This is actually Alex Jones stress ball. Hold on. He's selling these tinfoil hat kits, that even tell you how to properly make a tinfoil hat. And I bought one. It came with a free Alex Jones stress ball. It's so good.
Oh my God. I still remember when we did the election and all of us we all got our tinfoil hats on, and each one of us had a completely different one. Like you had the rabbit ears, I had the tinfoil do-rag, bro. That was
During the
awesome.
election. Yeah. even my deer skull back here had a little tinfoil hat on it. It was great.
It was
We
great.
had a good time.
All right, so now we're going to go into the middle ground post cancel culture part 2, because one of the first episodes we ever did here was about post cancel culture, which is our motto, right? So now what we're going to do is a year and a half later, we're going to dive into the sudden cancellation of Jimmy Kimmel. This isn't just about late night comedy. It's about, politics, advertisers, the fight over who gets to air on national television, basically, with the FCC. Sinclair, one of the biggest affiliate groups in America, they demanded that Jimmy Kimmel not only apologize to Charlie Kirk's family, but also make a personal donation before they'd consider putting him back on the air. Now, is this the reason why they took him off? Is this censorship? Is it accountability? And is this justice, or is it just a political payback, so to speak? No. So let's get into it as the middle ground starts now. All right. So this is from Entertainment. ABC affiliate group Sinclair demands Jimmy Kimmel stay off the air until he apologizes, pays Charlie Kirk's family. Now, before I even get started with this, I mean, is it can his wife sue over this?
I am not completely sure. I know that defamation has to do with malice, and it's a higher standard for public figures, right? Because there's so much information out there about them. And yeah, our producer's right. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. The issue here now becomes his legacy, his reputation, because there are so many people that didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was. And Stephen down here, sue him the way that Alex Jones. I don't know about all that, but I will say.
I mean that situation was a little different, but
it was different. And you're right. But how was it different? Is really the question. Because the cancel culture stuff that we have been through was absolutely uncalled for. We were having conversations about, cultural things, societal things, political things, just going like, hey guys, your ideas are goofy. Men and women, they're different. You want to dress up, whatever, but don't force me to use your pronouns. We started to have conversations about why there were systemic issues in the Black community this long after slavery and Reconstruction and all that stuff. Like, we weren't allowed to have that. Basically, if you were not a member of any protected class, you were ostracized and not allowed to speak. And at worst, your words were misframed and you were defamed and fired from your jobs. You were not able to be a person in society, all the way up to your own medical preference of treatment or not treatment. That was what they did to us, and they ran it all the way up. And Alex Jones was one of the I thought Alex Jones was the pinnacle of cancel culture because he got one little detail wrong about Sandy Hook, and then he corrected it, and they didn't want to let him off the hook. And then Charlie Kirk. That's the pinnacle of cancel culture. They couldn't shut the guy up, so they shot him.
Yeah, and not only that, but I'll even go in between that. And like you said, Alex Jones was the pinnacle. But I think where this turned around was not actually here at Charlie Kirk. I actually think where this turned around was Dave Chappelle.
Okay, yeah.
I think because I call this the Dave Chappelle parallel. All right, because what ended up happening was not a lot of people had Netflix. Well, I mean, a lot of people had Netflix, but they didn't know that he had a special on. And I think the special was on there for like 6 weeks before anybody even said anything about it.
Oh,
Right.
where he tells the big joke at the end about his trans friend that ends up with an unfortunate end because of being bullied.
Yeah, exactly.
By the left. Sorry, I don't
Yeah.
want to spoil it, but it's been out for this long, and if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yeah, definitely go watch
Jokes
it.
are good. I didn't spoil the jokes.
But what happened was people once they said that Dave Chappelle was canceled, everybody else was like, Dave Chappelle of all people? So you know what they did? They all went and watched it.
Right. I think it was the beginning. It was the beginning of a lot of the end of cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm saying pinnacle, peak cancel culture, I mean like the left and their necrotic brain state. Right.
I'm gonna say the woke. I'm gonna try to stay away from the
yeah, that's fair. That's
parallel.
Fair. Well,
yeah,
the woke that are completely way out there in left field, the far end of that left field, not even playing the same game anyone else is.
Right.
But you had,
exactly.
You had this article up here. We were starting out talking about Sinclair. We kind of got on a tangent and rant, and the rants are over. And let's get into this. Because there's more about this Sinclair thing that I think a lot of people need to understand too. Go ahead.
Oops. I do this every single time I do the wrong blow up. There we go. All right, now everybody can see. All right, an ABC affiliate group has demanded that Jimmy Kimmel literally pay his respects to Charlie Kirk before returning to television. Sinclair, a broadcasting company that owns over 30 local ABC affiliates nationwide, issued a statement on Wednesday condemning the comedian's comment about the MAGA gang response to Charlie Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, and insisted that the Jimmy Kimmel Live host make several moves to honor Kirk. The company pressured Kimmel to issue a direct apology to the Kirk family and also to make a meaningful personal donation to the Kirk family, as well as make additional donations to the late conservative pro-tourist organization Turning Point USA. Sinclair said that Jimmy Kimmel's suspension is not enough and has called for the FCC and ABC to take additional action to intervene in the comedian show. What are you going to put him in jail? Like, I mean, I get it, but like but to tell him that he has to pay, right? Like this isn't a judge, right? So this doesn't pale in comparison to what happened to Alex Jones. Now, I will say that at least.
Well, what's happening here is Sinclair literally owns the station, like the brick, the mortar, the airwave. Like if they don't want it to air, click, you're out, you're done. You know, ABC is running their programming on Sinclair's broadcast systems. Not many people understand how a lot of this stuff works under the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And as an example of, this is a myth that I think needs dispelled, because a friend of ours, Uncapped Turtle, told us this earlier today in the Discord chats. If you remember that big clip of all the local news stations that were saying the same line about what was being broadcast and local news and social media and things that were a threat to our democracy and all that stuff, like that was the big line in it. Like it starts with 1, it goes to 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's like the entire screen is full. Well, they're all Sinclair Inc. stations. And what they did is they were seeing what corporate was doing, and they said corporate is no longer going to be able to shove down our throat. And they said, we're going to put this into all of the local affiliates and say, this is what's changing. Because really, Sinclair runs the show. It's not just Fox, ABC, NBC. It's CBS. It's Sinclair that owns the brick and the mortar and owns the station itself. So now you have a little more context to that. And so when they're saying, oh, it's not enough, he's just off the air, we want you to not only apologize, but be sincere about it by putting some of your own hard-earned cash into the Kirk family's pockets, into that whatever, if there's some kind of endowment or, a donation fund, some kind of thing, make it a considerable amount that we know that you're real about being apologetic, but we know the left. We know that side of things. You said let's stay away from the left, but used the term woke. Jimmy Kimmel is definitely off that edge.
They're sitting at
this point.
Yeah, donations are sitting at over $6 million right now since his passing.
Wow,
$6 million.
That's crazy. That's an amazing amount of money that's been put in there, and there's like thousands and thousands of new TPUSA chapter applications in their system. They can't even process them.
Okay, so I'll even give you that number. So before Wednesday, all right, there were 1,100 chapters across a multitude of states and high schools and colleges or whatnot. 2 days after his death, there were 18,000 applications.
I think it's up to like.
It's up now.
Absolutely ridiculous number now.
Yeah, it's like up to almost 40,000 or something like that. Like it's
So the day after to have that immediate jump. Well, a lot of people didn't know who Charlie was until he wasn't.
Well, not even that. There's some people, especially like middle Americans, that are kind of just like whatever, who didn't know who he was, but have seen some of his clips, right? And the people that have seen his clips, but never really saw the backlash from his clips, seem to agree more with Charlie than they do with your average Wookiee, right? But the people that have barely seen his clips or haven't seen his clips at all, but only see the mischaracterization of what he said through memes online, are vastly different.
I made somebody delete a comment because I said I did a 2-hour podcast on all of those out of context quotes. I said, you look dumb right now posting that infographic it's that one we used last week on Friday. And I was like, you look dumb, bro. 2 hours. I got 2 hours of going through some of those clips. Yeah, go check out last Friday's because you guys the raid didn't happen last week. So go back to last Friday's. We covered a lot of those out of context clips. We're not going to retread that tonight, but it's a good point.
Yeah. We went through and basically found the videos and then showed them in their entirety and then let you guys decide. So
some select ones, the hot button ones, the ones we could find. We couldn't find all of them, but
some of them didn't even exist, which made me wonder about the validity of the claims.
But that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll cut through the crap.
Right.
So what else is in this article? Is there anything else here about that?
Not really much else. Yeah. So let's look at the liberal perspective on this and what they think is actually going on. Let's see. There we go. And let's go.
Kimmel being fired.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
He said that on Monday. Then a few days later, his show was suspended.
Sean, a lot's been happening around this already, but who actually made the call?
So the US network ABC suspended the late night show and said that this is indefinite. This decision came after the Federal Communications Commission chair, Brendan Carr, urged local broadcasters to stop airing the show and described Kimmel's comments sickening and said,
there's a reason why I did the article first and then played this. Did you guys catch it? We do researches here. All right, let's continue.
Frankly, when you see stuff like this, we can do this the easy way, or these companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action.
Kimmel also critiqued the Vice President, J.D. Vance, who hosted Charlie Kirk's podcast from the White House earlier this week.
And while our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
Kimmel's response?
And by statistical fact, he means complete bullshit.
What has the reaction been like?
Yeah, so Trump wrote on Truth Social, great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel show is cancelled in capital letters. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done.
Has this happened before?
It's genuinely unprecedented for a US president to be intervening on such a personal level when it comes to comedians. And it is genuinely, I think, a move that will impact broadcast television in America going forward, no matter what.
Yeah. So there was a couple of tall tales in that, in that perspective. What do you think?
They were definitely running a puff piece on that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What? So let's see. Do you have, let me see, Jimmy Kimmel
Look at the man
numbers?
show. Oh, numbers? Oh, yeah. Do you remember that post I made on X earlier?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
I do remember.
Oh, look at that.
This is from Benny Johnson, by the way. These are his numbers so far. And what is this? This is that's not even, so one point is what, is 100,000?
I'm not too sure, but that curve does not look beneficial.
Yeah, you're right. Let me see. Is there another one here? Well, this is another one that's kind of similar.
Okay, so wait, go scroll up just a smidge. There's a one, go back. There's the one right above it. It's got actual text in there. What's it saying?
This one
Click
here?
that one. Yeah, that's the one I saw earlier. Advertisers coveted 18 to 49 demo. It's the key demographic, right? Also, all that also cratered. So Kimmel's average was only 129,000 viewers in that bracket in August, off from 212,000 in January, and less than half his June peak of 284. Now, I think in the comments, I think that's the one I commented on. When we had it back and forth. If you go into it, I think you have to find it. I'll have to find it on my thing and send it to you, see if I can find it. But I posted in there the clip. It was the screenshot of us. If you go to my replies, it's probably in my replies. Oh no, I saw it down there. I reposted it. Yeah, right there. It says, I said Ohio man gets more primetime views than Jimmy Kimmel.
Bro, I love it. I absolutely love this.
Now, let's be honest. It's not like, that slice of, the key demo. But, like, when you think about it, if his key demographic is only getting at peak, his peak key demographic isn't even touching the, it's still underneath of what Tim's getting on the regular. Right? Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, guys. We got to boost our numbers too,
Oh, absolutely. We need to get over 1,000. Hey, if we get over 1,000 subscriptions tonight, I think we're like 100 away. If we get over 1,000 subscriptions tonight, Vashnik will shave his head.
And if you subscribe,
Live.
you'll get not just us, you'll get some of our other shows. We got the Sunset Rants through the week, and that's your daily kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got the drive-in or pop culture show. We've got Vashnik is also starting. I don't know when. I've been saying that for 2 months, but he's starting our conspiracy show. We got FAFO Friday that happened just before our show as well, which is a Rumble exclusive. So definitely check those out. All right, so Steve in accounting. Haha, like it. Anyone see that meme of David Pakman praising the firing of Roseanne as a victory battle of ideas, juxtaposed with him condemning Kimmel's firing as authoritarian?
I did see that. That was a great. I think is it?
We're 71 away.
Go back to my X before you pull it back up, and look. I think I reposted it, and what I said was, posts that aged well.
Ah, yes. Here we go.
There it is. Yep, he's got it.
Big win for Battle of Ideas and Free Speech. Roseanne said what she wanted to say. ABC made the business decision that they were right for them. And then next, One of the hallmarks of authoritarianism is to terrify people into self-censorship. ABC ending Kimmel show is the perfect example of this. Hardy. Yeah. So, man, it's 9:29. No, we're 71 away. Let's go. Let's absolutely go. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the conservative perspective. And of course, who else than this guy?
Oh, Jesse.
Jesse.
Kimmel's not the victim. Charlie was. Charlie's dead. Kimmel's on paid vacation. This could have all been avoided if Kimmel had just cleaned it up the next night. One of the reasons he didn't is because he's disconnected. He doesn't have Republicans on his show. He doesn't talk to people outside his bubble. He doesn't understand anyone he disagrees with. He doesn't know anyone he disagrees with. If he did, whole thing would never have gotten this far.
Big old super chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Funk Master.
Absolutely,
that big
Funk
$20 super chat.
But yeah, so he's right, because Jimmy Kimmel, he could not have another gig for the rest of his life, and him and his family would be perfectly fine.
Right. I mean,
that's it. That's the post.
You know, this is the big difference. If there's nothing else that I think speaks the most about that side of the politics versus the other side of the politics, is the concept of forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
On our side, we're welcome. You come on. If you change, we might make fun of you at first. We might not believe you. You know, a lot of people like JoJo from Jers. I just dunking on her earlier. I was earlier today or yesterday. I was dunking on her because she was kind of on our side on the Charlie Kirk thing a little bit. But in the comments, it was like, yeah, what did I post? Was it the Steve Buscemi where he's like, hello, fellow kids. You know, that's all I posted, just making fun. Because that's the other big difference is we'll poke fun at them, but they celebrate our demise, right? Mm-hmm. You know, they're not forgiving. They're not, when we go to their side, you know, other than Kimmel, because he's a megaphone or was a megaphone,
mm-hmm.
You know, pronouns #were for him now. But he's got the Man Show behind him, and they let him off the hook. Why? Because he towed the line. He went hard in the paint for the woke. And I'm not defending the Man Show. I mean, not even Adam Carolla does, but at least Adam Carolla's honest about it. He's like, yeah, it was lowbrow, it was 90s, it was kind of crass and gross, but whatever. We did that, and we moved on, you know? So, but, you know, all of this hatred about, you know, oh, you did blackface, or you can't do this, you can't do that. And here you got Jimmy Kimmel, who's done basically he's committed literally all of the sins that the left hates, that there's no forgiveness for, but for some reason, he's like one of those exceptions because he toes the line. He does what he's told. Exactly. But now he's doubling down. If he would have just said, my bad, the rest of we would have been like, cool, come over here. How many times at every step of the way, we're willing to bring more people to this side to push the woke out. That's why we have basically 90s Democrats in the White House right now.
Yeah. Like
Prove
literally.
Change my mind. Fight.
Yeah, but I mean,
no, don't fight me because I had lung surgery last year. I'll break.
Yeah, but the comments is part of a larger pattern of what they consider liberal media hostility towards conservatives. But, you know, argue that if Tucker Carlson or Alex Jones made similar jokes, they would face a way harsher punishment. And one of them has. Actually, technically, both of them have, but one of them is definitely doing a lot better than the other. You know, so what does that say? Girls on trampolines equals success. Sad boy puppet equals family. Nice.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. I don't know if it was decent Kimmel days, but at least it was like, okay, it was within like what was acceptable norms for like lowbrow, crass kind of comedy. because it was kind of making fun of the toxic, if you want to call it toxic masculinity for sake. I don't want to commit an anachronism and force modern concepts on past
stuff.
happenings.
Yeah,
but
like slavery,
right? But it was kind of funny because it was making fun of dudes doing dumb stuff, right? And being kind of awful, but like at the same time, it was kind of like it was kind of frat boy humor, right?
Remember Jackass?
Oh, Jackass was
Same
hilarious.
Thing. Yeah, perfect example. Stuff I wouldn't do.
Oh,
but
Wild Boys. Wild Boys. Now that was funny. There was nothing more like, nature loving about a bunch of skater dudes doing dumb things in the middle of Africa. I mean, I remember the episode where Steve-O was out, and then we're out with where the lions are, and they created the thing around their little campsite with all the thorn bushes, and he put a hammock up, and he hung steaks off of the hammock.
Oh, I forgot about
What? Oh, it's DKY. That stuff was as the advent of like that really dumb, was it, what do you call it, reality TV that was obviously instigated and scripted to some degree. You had guys like Bam Margera and Steve-O out there absolutely just basically doing the same thing, but doing it the way skater dudes would do it. It was good stuff. It was hilarious. I loved it. They loved animals. No animals were ever harmed in the making, but there was definitely lots of face plants into animal poo. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
It was.
Yeah.
I want to go watch the reruns of it so bad right now.
I think I'm gonna do that as soon as I get out of here.
Gotta be on YouTube somewhere.
All right. So now we've got so we had the liberal perspective, we got the conservative perspective. What about the FCC?
What FCC will that be? Sorry.
Exactly.
We're gonna get a copyright strike if I go down that road.
Yeah, let's not do that. All right, let's go with the FCC and go.
The FCC walked away from enforcing that public interest obligation. I don't think we're better off as a country for it. But look, President Trump ran directly at these legacy broadcast outlets, and he exposed them to these market forces. And a lot of these affiliate groups said, to your point, we're tired of carrying this stuff. Late night shows, something's gone seriously awry there. They went from going for applause, from laugh lines to applause lines. They went from being court jesters that would make fun of everybody in power to being court clerics and enforcing a very narrow political ideology. And Nexstar, as you noted, stood up and said, look, we have the license and we don't want to run this anymore. We don't think it serves the interests of our community. Sinclair did the same thing. So there's more work to go, but I'm very glad to see that America's broadcasters are standing up to serve the interests of their community. We don't just have this progressive foie gras coming out from New York and Hollywood.
And again, I want to mention this, though. I still feel like the silent majority of this country spoke out over the last 2 weeks, and they were very, very clear. The media sphere has been giving the mandate now. You need to change, or this is what's going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And because we sat here for years watching them go after specific targets, right? I'm not even going to say it was everybody. It was very specific. It was very targeted on who they were trying to get rid of because they knew who had the most influence. It was the ones with the most influence, not necessarily the ones with the most viewers or viewership. It was ones with the most influence.
Yeah, and I remember watching, especially as COVID came in, I think it was Pizzagate and then the COVID stuff. That was peak.
Pizzagate was so stupid.
It was stupid, but let's not get me started on that rant. That's a whole other
let's not.
revisit.
we did that once.
But
you had a whole episode,
bro. But when there were YouTubers that were, we'll put it. Okay, one of my favorite YouTube channels during that time was Game Theorist.
Mm-hmm.
They're still a good channel. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I was kind of broken when when Fauci went and did his little YouTube tour, and Matt Pat of Game Theory, Film Theory, Food Theory, all those channels. A guy that'll spend 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours researching the sociopathic psychology of Mario for entertainment purposes, right? Would just accept whatever baseline questions that he was handed. Here's the acceptable, here's the script. You're going to ask these questions to Mr. Fauci. He's going to say what he's going to say, and you're going to get the off screen. That's what's going to happen. If we're talking about Matt Pat, a guy who started at one point on a stage with the YouTube CEO talking about the issues over monetization and censorship and stuff, and got backed into a corner, this is that it was, and I think a lot of that happened because, rest in peace, John Bain, cynical Brit, back in the day. He was one of the first advocates of and guys that was talking about censorship, Gamergate, all that stuff. And when John Bain passed away, I saw lifeblood and the fire drain out of YouTubers of that time.
Right.
And so then you just saw all of that stuff just, and so to see these seasoned big, broadcasters now start to go, you know what, we're done with this. And where are they seeing the silent majority? We're not seeing the silent majority on X. We're not seeing it on, definitely not on Blue Sky.
Yeah, right.
It's Facebook. I'm sorry, everybody hates on Facebook, but your local news and the pulse of America is still on Facebook. And if you don't believe me, go back there, get into your local township groups, get into your local groups and see what's happening. Get plugged in and get engaged, because that's where everything is. That's what's happening. Those are the people that Sinclair Inc. is seeing going, oh crap. Those are the people watching cable TV.
That's how we found my son's bowling league. It was right down the street. We had no idea. There were no signs around our house for that. We found it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in there, and they had like instructors, and they had different levels and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool. But where did they do it? They did it on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah. So to kind of end this out, we've got the FCC's perspective. So now you see the triad, the three different sides, right? You've got the left, the right, and then the government, so to speak. Yep. So why is this relevant? It's relevant because we have lived in a time, in an era in which we've been able to see the extremes, not only of both sides, but we've been able to see an extreme swing on what's actually happening in our country under different regimes, right? And everybody was able to see it for themselves. So all the people that talk about the silent majority sat back and watched Trump's first term. And then they were like, okay, well, let's test out Biden and see what happens, right? And they were able to see both of them back to back in how everything happened in our country when it came to our economy, when it came to housing, when it came to gas, when it came to groceries, when it came to everything. We were able to see how that worked in real time. So now, when you look back at it and you're saying, hey, why is this happening to Jimmy Kimmel? Well, I'm going to show you. This is from Lori Ann on X, Tucker Carlson, Roseanne Barr, Gina Carano, Donald Trump. That's just a few of the people that were thrown off of social media or fired for their views under the previous administration, and yet y'all didn't say a word. Democrats demanded everybody who didn't get along with vaccine mandates be suspended off of social media. Y'all screamed freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Y'all made these rules. Y'all set these precedents, and now you're mad it's biting you in the ass. Don't get mad now.
Federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air, and what isn't. And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence. And that is the line that I think we have to be willing to contend with.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. What I will say, though, is while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country. I also kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled. And then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge out to grip over like the end of a building or something. But deplatforming works, and it is important. And there you go.
Chuck Schumer to Rupert Murdoch, direct Tucker Carlson and other hosts of your network to stop spreading false election narratives and admit on the air that they were wrong to engage in such negligent behavior. From Representative Jeffries and me. You mean and I. Next, Rolling Stone. Why cancel culture is good for democracy. History has shown us that in power and obsessed with turning any form of accountability into a phenomenon that is intended to bring us into sudden doom. Following is an excerpt from the upcoming book, The Case for Cancel Culture, How This Democratic Tool Works to Liberate Us All. You guys thought I was done? Nope. Derek Evans. Here's Jimmy Kimmel in 2023 celebrating Fox after firing Tucker Carlson.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is.
That was funny.
Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
That last line was actually kind of a funny joke. Like, I'm a sucker for a dad joke. I can't help it. I gotta give him that. But Jimmy's getting the comeuppance now. You know, what we said I told a lot of my lefty, liberal, wokey, whatever you want to call them, people that I've known during this time frame. I said, you realize if you escalate this too far, you're gonna get what you deserve when it comes back around, right?
You reap what you sow.
And reap what you sow. And now they are, and I don't feel bad for them. And mainly, I don't feel bad for them because this is different. Before, like I said earlier, was to say, don't be fooled by big old one socialist. They meant to hypnotize, then enslave you. Thomas Swalwell. Oh my God.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, Swalwell is based. I love Swalwell.
Gotcha.
Oh, got me for good.
Oh man.
No, the thing. So the practical thing, the way this is playing out now, and why this is actually a good correction, is because we watched a political assassination happen live. You know, or maybe not live. I mean, a lot of his stuff is, broadcast, but we at least watched it, relatively soon, HD, all the things. And then you subsequently had a major section of the country, or at least a major portion of social media, and people just instantly endorse it and go straight with the bloodlust.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, okay, fine. General public is going to be doing what general public do. But when you have the talking heads out there also endorsing it and giving the thumbs up, yeah, this is cool, go do that, that's when things get really bad, because they've been, stirring this up for so long, and all of us here have seen the clips or the compilations of clips of Democrats and lefty advocates and activists all, saying, hey, I go do violence in the street, get in their faces and blah, 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 and all this. Somewhere it has to stop, and we have to cut it off. And so if I'm an employer and I know that you have these kinds of views, I don't want you working for me. Why? Because I'm probably going to have other employees that believe the way I do. Not that I may have hired them because of that, but because I understand that now you're a liability to my company. You're a liability to me. I know that you have, if an employee comes to me and says, hey, dude on the line over here is gloating about Charlie Kirk bleeding out, I'm going to go, well, he can kick bricks, because I'm not going to have him cut your throat on the production line because you happen to be a Trump guy and you wore, a hat to work, or you made a comment or something. I'm not having that. This is where we are. I'm not saying we should return kind for kind and all in the violence and all that, by no means. But we have to protect ourselves, and we have to draw lines in the sand and cut this off. And I think the left's starting to, get the idea and wake up to the woke being a liability. That's the silver lining I'm seeing. So that's all I gotta say about that. And Jimmy Kimmel being booted, and Sinclair being this massive thing that it is, being all about, let's clean this up. Yeah, 10 years too late, but maybe not. Maybe not, because there's other silver linings about the whole Charlie Kirk thing too. You have an entire other group of people that were at one point kind of like nominal Christians that kind of paid attention. And a lot of people have been heard the gospel from Charlie Kirk too. So you have, not only do you have this wider zeitgeist of, okay, we need to cut that thing off that has become malignant, and there's a lot of differences on how to do that, but there's also this other group of us that are seeing Charlie Kirk's body of work for what it was, and not in this violent clapback, kind of way against the left. We're seeing it as this, wow, his entire legacy he wanted to be known for when he was gone was his faith. And so what does that mean? Go investigate what his faith was about. People are doing that, and it's changed. And Charlie's legacy is living on beyond him.
Yes, and not only, I mean, even if it isn't faith, right? Sometimes it's just common sense. Where somebody's like, oh, you know what? I never thought of it that way. Because out of every one video that you saw of him where, there's this heated debate and battle between Charlie and somebody else, and they're fighting, there were like 10 other people that came up that actually asked genuine questions. And those are the parts that nobody else sees. The only way you'd be able to see that is to go onto his page and watch the entire thing in its entirety. Because if you can hover over the time bar and you can see where all the crazy people are there because it pops up like this, right? But there's people in between there too, So don't just go through his legacy, just by those little sound clips that people like to put out. Go watch the whole thing. Pick one. I challenge all of you. Just pick one. And then make the decision on your own after that. But watch the entire thing. Because clearly that's not what everybody else did.
I'm not sure what's going on in the comments, guys. We've been on a ramble and a rant, but we wanted to lay this out for you tonight. We wanted to talk about the things that were happening. Try not to retread all the stuff that's been said, but get a little bit more into the weeds of it. Pick out the stuff from the Kash Patel thing, because those hearings are so long and they're so boring sometimes. But the moments that happened, there's clips of them, and those were the moments. So we got those for
those,
you.
those some of those weren't even the best ones. There was like 2 or 3 other ones that were absolutely epic. We didn't have enough time to find them all because we had to fit everything into a 2-hour show. But
You guys got time to give an opinion real quick on that viral thing Crowder said this week?
Oh,
shoot.
viral thing. Well, where is it? What did he say?
I can't quote it word for word, but the whole thing about him being lawfully defending ourselves. I don't know. Wednesday.
Discipline.
I thought it came out a little strong.
It was called hair trigger discipline, is what he said. Where it's no longer do you get the benefit of the doubt. If you come in and you aggressively disrupt one of their either one of their shows or one of their events or whatnot, we're going to assume that you were there for the worst.
Oh yeah, their security is going to be all on top of you. You're out. Boom, gone.
Yeah, and it's not even gone. Like it's going to be bad for you. And that's as far as I'm gonna take that because I am on YouTube. But
right, and no, it's a keep your head on a swivel.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Second Amendment for a reason. Yes, it's to initially Second Amendment was designed to defend against tyrannical governments and whatnot, because that's where they just came out of. But we have it for self-defense. Our politicians, people we elect in our republic, their oaths are sworn to, protect us from enemies, foreign and domestic. So we have enemies that are domestic. Unfortunately, they happen to be our fellow citizens at this moment. Giving them the benefit of the doubt is a difficult thing. Know when to retreat, know when to engage. Keep your head on a swivel. Train. If you're going to carry, train. Make sure you put rounds on a target. Make sure you can know what's behind that target. Trigger discipline, all those things. If you have to do that in a situation of self-defense. I'm not going to blame you for getting jumped at a gas station, but I'm going to recommend you not go to the ghetto ones as a metaphor. So if you get shot, if you go into a situation, you go where you know that some of these people are going to be and things happen, keep your head on a swivel and be smart. Be smart, know what kind of conversations you're having with people, and know when people get aggressive with you and know when to retreat. The best fights are the ones you don't have to have, but if you got to have it, you better win.
Thank you, Funkmaster.
Another 5.
5.
Gifted ROMA Nation memberships. Thank you so much.
I've drank 1 beer this entire show, by the way.
Wow.
And if I've got an empty bottle, this is how I beat the social lubricant game. It's like I just have the 1 bottle the whole time. I don't care. That way people aren't buying you one the whole night. Like, hey, I need to give you a beer. It's like, dude, I've been sipping on the same spit the whole for the last half hour.
That's funny. All right, let's close out this show.
One's from the Babylon Bee. The other's a real dumpster fire. This is the bee or not the bee.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the bee or not the bee.
Yeah, Stinfline was a bop. I was like, yeah, let's go.
That's right. All right. You know how this works. I'm going to give you 2 headlines. One headline is the bee. Second headline is from a refutable news source. All right. I'm going to give it to you. So you're going to give me 1s in the chat for the first one, 2s in the chat for the second one. All right. Number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Announces FBI after killer turns himself in. Article number 2. Cardinal Dolan hails Charlie Kirk as modern-day St. Paul. Which one's the B? Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Announces FBI after killer turns himself in. Or number 2, Cardinal Dolan hails Charlie Kirk as modern-day St. Paul. Let's see, what do we got here? We got a bunch of 2s in the chat.
Modern day St. Paul. Oof, that's a That's a tough. I don't like that one, but it's Catholic, so I'm gonna.
Oh man, I think we're kind of tired. All right, let's go over it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Announces FBI after killer turns himself in. That is the Babylon Bee. Let's see. Salt Lake City, Utah. Officials from the Federal Bureau of Investigation held a congratulatory press conference on Friday, notified the public that the agency had successfully apprehended the man suspected of murdering conservative activist Charlie Kirk after the shooter turned himself in. Following a manhunt that stretched over the course of 2 days and made every use of every asset, tool, and agent in the Bureau's disposal, government officials were proud to announce that all the good hard work paid off when the assassin walked through the door and placed himself in custody. Oh, Babylon Bee.
Well, what's this real article? What's this real one?
The real one is Cardinal Dolan hails Charlie Kirk as modern-day St. Paul. Cardinal Timothy Dolan on Friday hailed Charlie Kirk as modern-day St. Paul, saying that the slain conservative activist's gracious debating style can teach us something. Dolan was one of the leading figures in the Catholic Church, said that he did not know that Turning Point USA co-founder was when Kirk, I think that's a typo, was fatally shot on a Utah college campus September 10th, but then was quickly impressed as he started researching him. The more I learned about him, though, I thought this guy is a modern-day St. Paul, he told Fox and Friends. He's a missionary. He's an evangelist. He's a hero.
And okay, so that speaks volumes, because Charlie Kirk has had 3 major disputes with Catholic theology. Mm-hmm. It was, about communion, about Mary, and there was one more. I can't remember what it was, but there were 3. But other than that, he was like, dude, I love all the Catholics. Love what you guys are doing as far as like the culture things and all the other stuff. But those were the 3 things. And for a Catholic cardinal to come out and call a Protestant evangelical a modern day St. Paul, that speaks a lot, because he's not getting into the weeds of our differences as Christians. He's getting into what he's getting at is Charlie's ability to accurately and surgically answer questions before they're even raised. And you read the New Testament, Paul does that in his letters, in his epistles, all the way down through the New Testament. And so I'm with him. I'm with him on this. It's amazing the way Charlie was able to take these very contentious hot button issues that were wrapped in, that were couched in, or juxtaposed to faith issues and how to navigate those things. Charlie did a very good job of it.
He really did. And again, like I said, outside of faith, he was able to talk about a myriad of different cultural issues, right? I mean, he was able to talk about the government. He was able to talk about taxes. He was able to talk about, race relations, like all of those things. And he wasn't afraid to do it, right? And I think part of the reason why people loved him was because he wasn't afraid to touch those subjects, whereas a lot of people are. Mm-hmm. But I also think that was the reason why so many people despised him, was because you're touching on things that we don't want you to touch on. Those are our things, right? And we need those for our ideology to continue. So I mean, take that as you wish. Either way, let's go ahead. We'll look at like 5 or 6 more of the chats here, and then we'll head out. What do we got?
There was somebody earlier that said they fell asleep during Timcast and then woke up to this. I told them, bro, I'm sorry you woke up in the next century. There's 3 elections and a zombie apocalypse.
Barron Trump is the president.
Barron Trump.
Based.
Oh. And we still haven't outlawed trannies.
Nope, they're still here.
Yay! You guys love me.
Love you too, Tim. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Timcast members, thank you so much for joining us. Did we hit our 1,000 tonight?
35 away is what I'm seeing.
35 away.
35 away. Come on, we got 60.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Still on our
Touch
counter
that
up
button.
here.
Correct
Listen,
it.
by the
Gently.
yes, by the end of our outro, I want that over 1,000. That is my
Hey.
mandate to you.
Do it for me.
All right, let's get this happening. All right. Well, I am AK. You can find me at the real Roma _AK on X. You can find him Scrapjaw everywhere.
Everywhere.
And this is Taylor Loren's ex-wife.
Hi, guys.
Absolutely. All right. Well, anyways, thank you guys for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week for Roma Nation. Toodaloo.
Deuces.
Hustle in my veins, no rest, no dream, trying to make a way. Whole team gotta eat. No sleep, gotta keep going. No sleep, till the world know it. No sleep, till the world know it. No sleep, till the world know it. I've been moving like a clock, don't stop, no breaks, no rest, no time to flop. Gotta get it while I'm breathing, never taking a loss. See the pain in my eyes, but the vision stay locked. Ain't nobody finna hand me a thing. Came from the bottom, I rose through the rain. Hustle like I never had a meal on my plate. Now we eating so good that the hunger remains. Fast lane, never slowing my pace. Tell them I was built for the chase. Every night trying to double my worth. Put my name in the sky, make it shake up the earth.